Hi guys, it's the one and only maths favorite teacher. So on this session, we'll be basically dealing with logarithms grade 12. So you see here, they're giving us number one, they're saying evaluate log 2 into 32 minus log 2 into 8. So basically when you use logarithms, remember we are having logarithmic law, right? So here we're going to apply law number 2 according to laws of logarithms. That says that the log of what? Of a into x over y, it's equals to log of ax minus log of ay minus the log of ay. So this is law number 2 according to the laws of logarithms. And when you look at this part that I'm just showing you, it's one and the same thing with, let me show you. When you look at this part that I'm showing you, this one, it's one and the same thing with this one, the green part, right? So since the two, they're the same, I'm just going to write them in this form. Must write them in this format, right? So using this, let's rewrite what we are given. We are given log 2 base 32 minus the log of what? Log 2 base 8. So we know that this, according to law number 2, it can be written as log what? Log 2 into 32 divided by 8. Reason being is because of I'm using law number 2 according to the rules of logarithms, of which I wrote it in this format, right? And then continuing onwards, this basically means to say here we're going to have what? We're going to have log of 2, and then we say 32 divided by 8. So let's check what is 32 divided by 8. We know that 32 divided by 8, that is going to be 4, right? And then we're going to use what we call the fishbone method. Let me just show you here. So that is 4. So this 4, we're going to divide it by 2. We are getting 2. Then 2 divided by 2, we are also getting 1. So this basically means to say we know that 2 squared is going to give us 4, according to this concept of the fishbone method, right? So this basically means to say here you can write it like this as log 2. And then since 4 is the same as 2 squared, so I'm just going to write it as 2 squared, right? And then the next part, it will be taking this concept, which is 2, bringing it in front right here, right? So we're going to have what? We're going to have 2 log 2 into 2. So let's continue with it on the other side. So remember previously we had it like this. We had it written like this, log 2, 2, exponent 2, right? So I just showed you that we're going to take this 2, we're going to bring it in front. So it means to say we're going to have 2, then we're going to have log of base 2 into 2. And then this will give us, we are having that 2 which is blue, I'm going to write it here. And then this, according to the rules of exponents, according to the rules of logarithms, so to say, it gives us 1. Log 2 into 2, that is 1. Then you say 2 times 1, the final answer is 2. So this basically means to say, as you are solving number 1, you must get 2 being the answer, right? So now let's write number 2. So number 2, just gonna write it using a different color right there. On number 2, what are we having? We're having log 32 divided by log 8. This one is very easy. Log 32 divided by log of 8. So we're going to use the fishbone method and break that 32, right? So 32, we know that in an exponent form, it will be 2 to the exponent 5. So we're going to write log 2 to the exponent of 5 divided by, then this is the log of, and then we all know that 8 in an exponent form, that is 2 to the exponent of 3. So 2 to the exponent of 3. So the next step, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this 5, write it in front here. I'm gonna also take this 3, write it in front right there. So you'll be having 5, and then the log of 2 divided by 3, as well as the log of 2. Then the next step, what's going to happen is that log 2 will cancel log 2. Then the final answer will be left with 5/3. 5/3 simply means to say that is our final answer for number 2. Then now let's write number 3. Log 3 base 15. We're having log 3 base of 15. Let's see what are we having. And then minus log 3 base of 10. Minus log 3 base of 10. Plus log 3 base of 18. Plus log 3 base of 18. So this one is a bit tricky, but don't forget that we are having a law number 1. Let me just write it here. Of logarithms, right? It says that the log of what? Of a into xy is going to be what? Log of ax plus the log of ay. So that is law number 1. Then with regards to us having law number 2, we know that it will be the log of a into x over y. So we're going to have what? Log of a x minus log of a y. So for this number 3, we're going to use law number 1 as well as law number 2. So we can start by rewriting this in a form of law number 2. So this will give us the log of 3 into what? 15/10 plus, then we are left with the log of 3 into 18. So with regards to that, we know that this is log 3. So you're going to write log 3 here. Let me do like this so that we don't do mistakes. So coming back, that is log 3. And then we know that 15/10, it gives us 3/2. So I'm just going to write 3/2 plus log 3 into 18, right? So when you look at this part, it's one and the same thing with law number 1 on the right-hand side. So I must write it in this form, in this green part. I must write it in this format, right? So it simply means to say, what are we going to have? We're going to have the log of 3 raise, and then that will be 3/2, right? We're going to multiply it by what? By 18. So this basically means to say here we're going to have the log of 3, and then 3/2 times 18. We're going to get 27. Then since we're getting 27, this will be written as log 3. And then we know that 27, we can change it into 3 to the power of 3, right? And then after that, this 3, we're going to take it, bring it here in front. It means to say we'll be having what? Something like 3 log 3 into 3, log 3 base 3. Then due to the sake of space, let me just continue right here. Remember, we are having a 3 log 3 into 3, right? And then this will give us 3 into log 3 base 3 gives us 1. Then the final answer, you say 3 times 1, it will give us 3. So it means to say on number 3, the final answer, we are going to get 3, right? We're done with that one. And then we go to number 4, log 5 into 125. Log 5, the log of 5 into 125. Then divide by log 5 into 625. Divide by log 5 into 625. So this is written as law number. It's written in the form of law number 2. But before this, since here we're having a division sign, I can continue writing it like this so for you not to make mistakes. So log 5 into 125. Then this is a division sign, so I'm allowed to divide by what? Log 5 into 625. Do you get to see that? And then, since it's like this, consider writing it like this. Log 5. Then you're going to change 125 according to the fishbone method. Let's check what are we going to get. So we say 125 divided by 5. So we know that when you say 125 divided by 5, we're going to get 25. So we write 25 right there. Then we say 25 divided by 5, we're going to get 5. Write it here. Then you say 5 divided by 5, we're going to get 1. Write it there. Then we know that 5 to the exponent of 3 gives us 125. So this basically means to say where there is 1 to 5, which is this one, we're going to write 5 to the exponent of 3. So that will be 5 to the exponent of 3. It's like that. Then we divide by, then this will be the log of what? Log 5. Then we do the same with regards to the fishbone method. So now we are doing this one of 625. So we're going to say 625 divided by 5. We're going to get 125. Divided by 5, we're going to get what? 125. 125, we write it there. And you say 125 divided by 5, we're going to get 25. Divided by 5, we're going to get 25. Then you say 25 divided by 5, we're going to get 5. 5 divided by 5, you're going to get 1. So this basically means to say, therefore, 5 to the exponent of 4 gives you 625. Right? So it means to say 5 to the exponent of 4, it gives you 625. So where there is 625, you're going to write what? 5 to the exponent of 4. As easy as that. So you can now see that your work is much neat now. So the next step, we'll consider taking this 3, bringing it in front right there. So we're going to have what? We're going to have 3. 3 log 5 base 5 divided by, you do the same. Here, you're going to take this 4, you bring it in front right there. So that will be what? That will be 4 log 5 base 5. So due to the sake of space, I'm just going to continue that side. So this basically means to say, okay, let me try to rewrite it. Remember, we are having 3 log 5 base 5 divided by 4 log 5 base 5. So the next step, what you're going to do, we're going to write 3, then log 5 base 5 on the numerator side, that will give you 1. So you say open bracket 1, divided by, that will be 4, log 5 base 5, that will be 1. So even if you don't write it like this, let me show you the easier way. You consider doing it like this. You're still going to be correct at the end of the day. you can just say log 5 cancels log 5, that one, you see. Then you'll be left with what? Log 5 base 5 cancels log 5 base 5. Your final answer will be 3/4. You get to see that. So it means to say 3/4 is the final answer. So even if you're gonna say log 5 base 5 is 1, log 5 base 5 is 1, you know that it will be 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 1 is 4. So the final answer is 3/4. So that's how basically we solve this, guys. It's logarithms, and then it's very important that you master how we basically solve this. It's one and only maths favorite teacher once again. Stay tuned for more.